My name is Katey Butler and I'm a certified exercise physiologist here at Maritime Hospital. And today I've been asked to give you guys some tips on how to stay active in a socially distant environment and how exercise can change our stress and anxiety levels. Does the recent outbreak have you feeling more stressed and anxious? If so, know that you're not alone. While the world can seem like such a scary place right now with so much uncertainty, make sure you take time to focus on your mental health. Now, exercise may be the last thing on your mind during this time, and that's okay. But sticking with your current exercise program or even starting a new one can make a big difference, especially when it comes to stress and anxiety. When stress affects the brain, the body feels the impact as well. Just like when your body feels great, so does your mind. Exercise can help ease anxiety in a couple of ways. One way is that it can distract you from the very thing that you're thinking about. So if you're feeling anxious and you're exercising, you're too busy trying to think about what way to move and how to breathe that you tend to not focus on what it is that you're anxious about. Another way is when you're moving your body more, you're actually decreasing muscle tension, so you're lowering your body's concentration to feeling anxious. Getting your heart rate up during exercise is also good for your brain chemistry because there is an increase in anti-anxiety neurochemicals such as serotonin, which can boost your mood and overall well-being, and there's also an increase in endorphins, which is your body's natural pain-killing hormones. Regularly engaging in exercise helps with resilience against stormy emotions. You may still have stress and anxiety, but building up resiliency will help you learn how to cope with a crisis and return to pre-crisis status more quickly. So there are many other benefits to being active and exercising besides just for your stress and anxiety. So another thing that it helps with is increased in energy. So if you think about it, the more you're moving your body around, the more blood you're having circulate throughout your body, which is carrying oxygen and nutrients. So it'll help all your organs work more efficiently. So that's why a lot of times you hear people say that they work out in the morning because it helps their focus throughout the day. It's also known to help decrease certain risk for certain types of cancer. Decreases your blood pressure. So if you're someone with higher blood pressure, being active for about 30 minutes a day can help lower your blood pressure for up to 24 hours. So what happens is when you exercise, your blood vessels constrict. So your blood pressure should go up when you exercise, but when you're done exercising, they should dilate and go a little bit bigger than what they were before, allowing the blood to flow more freely throughout. Exercise also helps lower your cholesterol. So we have good cholesterol and we have bad cholesterol. So our good cholesterol, or HDL, you can think of them as happy, are kind of like Pac-Man, and they kind of go through our arteries and eat up the plaque. So the only way to increase your HDL is through exercise. So the more exercise that you do, the more little Pac-Man you have going through. Exercise will also lower your risk for heart disease. So just like every other muscle in your body, your heart is also a muscle as well. So the best way to keep it healthy and strong is through exercise. Also, it helps with sleeping at night. So you're gonna find if you exercise or are more active throughout the day, you're going to get into a deeper sleep state faster. And then as we age, we know we become more at risk for osteoporosis. Exercise can help combat that just by doing body weight exercises that we do in our circuit workout today. You can also see an increase in your lifespan by being more active and then having a stronger immune system as well. I want you to think about it the next time you go for a walk or you do a workout. How do you feel before you do the workout? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling anxious? What's your energy level? Are you tired? Do you have high energy? And then I want you to ask yourself those same questions once you have finished exercising. And what's the difference? Do you have more energy after exercising or less? Are you in a better mood or a worse mood? Typically, we don't hear people say, oh, I really regret going on that walk today. Normally, people have a little bit more energy and then find themselves to be in a better mood as well. While there are many other ways to cope with stress and anxiety, exercise is one that can be done in the comfort of your own home for free. Just because we are living in a socially distant world doesn't mean we can't stay active. So there still are plenty of ways that we can get out and move our body. So here's a couple of ways to stay active during this time. One way to be more active is by getting outside and enjoying the sun by going on a walk or a nice bike ride with people living in your home. While you can't be going on walks with your friends, you can be with the people that you live with. And if you are out and about exercising and being active, make sure if you're passing other people, you keep 6 feet difference. Another way to stay active is by digging out all those old workout DVDs that you have in your basement and utilize them as well. There's also online resources, everything from YouTube to Pinterest. My favorite one would be fitnessblender.com. It's a website that was developed by 2 personal trainers who believe that fitness should be accessible to everyone, and you can specify everything from intensity to type of workout to the equipment that you have at home and so much more. Here are some tips to help you stay on track. Number 1, find something that you enjoy doing. You're more likely to stick to it if you actually like the exercise. Another tip is to have someone keep you accountable. So do you have a friend or a family member who wants to be more active as well? If so, maybe text them every day or every week of what your goals are for the week and what your plan is. Another one is to set detailed goals, so make sure that they're specific with what you want to accomplish, measurable. Are you going to use a pedometer? Are you going to use a journal to record these things? Are they attainable and realistic? And then what time are you giving yourself to accomplish these goals? Make sure that you make a plan for the week of what you're going to be doing. So I know our 2020 calendars have pretty much been tossed out the window, but if you can schedule your workouts throughout the week and kind of make it like an appointment with yourself, so that way you stay on track with completing them. And then also it's important to focus on what you can do and not what you can't do. So you can't do a push-up on your toes. That's okay. Can you do a push-up on your knees, or can you do a push-up up against the wall? If so, that's great. Focus on that component of it. If you can't do high impact exercises because of joint limitations, that's okay. You can exercise from a seated position as well. So making sure that you focus on the things that you can do and not comparing yourself to others. The American College of Sports Medicine sets the guidelines for physical activity. So they recommend getting 150 minutes of moderate physical activity in each week. Now this can be broken down into 5 days per week, 30 minutes per day. And once again, don't focus on what you can't do, focus on what you can. So if you can't do 30 minutes per day in one setting, you can break this down into 10-minute chunks throughout your day. So you could do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at lunch, and 10 minutes in the evening. Now, what I mean by moderate physical activity is a workload that is challenging yourself without overexerting yourself. So if you were to look at a scale of 1 to 10, imagine 1 being you're just sitting on your couch watching TV, and 10 being you're working so hard you can't continue. You want to be around a 4 to a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10. So you should feel your heart rate increasing, and it should feel a little challenging, but not something that you can't continue for more than 20-30 minutes. If thinking about it on a scale of 1 to 10 is too difficult, you can even practice a talk test. So if you're able to carry a full conversation while exercising, it's probably too easy. So you want to get to the point where you can say a couple words at a time, but you have to take a breath. If you're to the point where you have to deep breathe after every word, then that's probably too high exertion level for you. So today I'm going to be demonstrating a circuit workout that you can do in the comfort of your own home that doesn't require any weights. We're going to have 6 exercises that we're going to do for a couple reps, but in your own home you can do them as much as you want. Before starting any type of exercise program, make sure that you warm up your muscles. So you can do this by going for a brisk walk or marching in place or even doing some jumping jacks. Really, we just want to make sure that the blood is flowing to all the muscle groups to prevent injury. Our first exercise we're gonna be doing is a squat. So you're gonna stand with your feet shoulder width apart. I like to keep my hands in front of my chest, and what we're going to do is bend at our knees, keeping our weight in our heels, and we're gonna sink down and pretend like we're sitting back into a chair. Keep your chest lifted, try not to hunch over, and then we're just gonna push up through those heels back to our standing position. So from a side view, we just sink down, weight in our heels, chest lifted, and then push back up. Okay, so I'll demonstrate a couple of reps for you guys. So we sink down and come back up to standing. And you can do this with a narrow distance, or to work more of your inner thighs, you can step it out to a wide squat stance as well. All right, our next exercise is going to be a push-up. Now, push-ups are nice because you can do them in a variety of ways. So you can do them down on the ground on your knees, on your toes, or you can do them up against the wall or off a countertop, whatever you feel most comfortable with. So today we're gonna take it down to the ground and do on our knees. So you're gonna come to a tabletop position, and then I just walk my hands out a little forward, so I drop my hips down so I make a nice straight plank line with my body. I'm going to bend at the elbows and then come down, keeping my neck in a neutral position instead of letting it drop down. And then I'm gonna press back up through my hands all the way back up to the top. For this next exercise, we're gonna be working our calves and our glutes, and we're gonna be doing calf raises. So you can either do this on a flat surface, or to add a little bit more intensity, you can find a ledge. So I'm just gonna stand on the ledge, allowing my heels to fall off a little bit, and they're gonna sink down, and I'm gonna keep my abs nice and tight, and I'm gonna rise up on my toes as tall as I can, and back down. Keeping a nice tall alignment with my body. And if you need to grab onto something to balance, that's okay too. For this next exercise, you're going to need a sturdy chair, or you can use your couch at home. We're going to be doing tricep dips, so we're going to be working the backs of our arms. So what you're going to do is plant your hands firmly on a couch or a chair. You're going to drop your hips off the bench, and you're going to bend at the elbows, sinking down, and then pressing back up, squeezing at the top. And you can add a little bit more intensity to this by separating your feet out a little farther, and that makes it a little harder. And you can even go more advanced and lift one leg up at a time. All right, for our core exercise, we are going to be doing a wall sit, which is nice because it also works our legs as well. So all you need is a wall, and what you can do to get into position is just place your back up against the wall and slowly walk your feet out and slide down the wall. It's kind of hard with a brick, so I can't demonstrate that very well. But what you want to try and aim for is to try and keep your knee in a 90-degree angle. So my knee is going to be in a 90-degree angle, and then up at my hip to my body will be a 90-degree angle as well. And you want to make sure your back is making contact with the wall throughout the whole time. And you can try and hold this for 10, 20, 30 seconds, all the way up to a minute. For our last move, we are going to be doing a cardio exercise, and we're going to be doing jumping jacks. So just like you remember in elementary, nothing has changed, everything stays the same. So your feet are going to pop out and in, and your arms are going to go out and in as well. So you can also modify this by tapping it out side to side for a low impact option. I would just say make sure you keep your hands above your head, because that's going to keep your heart rate up. All right, now that we have learned all of our moves, let's put them all together. So you're gonna do each exercise for 1 minute each. So go through all 6 exercises, and when you're done, you can do as many rounds as you'd like. Make sure to cool down and stretch it out. So you want to make sure that you stretch the muscle groups that you use during your workout. So when you're stretching, let's do a nice shoulder stretch for an example. You want to stretch to the point where you feel slight discomfort. You should never feel pain. And you want to hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds. And once you're done, relax, shake it out, and then switch to the other side. I always like to do 2 sets of stretching. So once I'm done with this side, I'm gonna go back to the first side. And when I go back to the first side, I'm gonna inhale, and I'm gonna exhale, and I'm gonna try and stretch a little further to increase my range of motion. Once again, making sure that I'm not feeling pain, but slight discomfort. Another thing to watch out for is that you're not uptight, you're nice and relaxed, but really stretching that muscle. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today. I hope you learned different ways to stay active while being socially distant. If you have any questions, feel free to email me with any questions or concerns. Otherwise, stay safe.